Hi all, this is Dr. J speaking live from Long Island, New York and Medellin, Colombia, South America. Jake is with us tonight. He's having a little audio difficulties. He's moving his setup from the outdoors back to the indoors, which is too bad because it was a beautiful view of the Medellin skyline at night, which we're now being deprived of. But hopefully Jake will get hooked up in a second. Hopefully everyone had survived the turmoils of the Dow Jones Industrial Averages and the rest of the volatile market today.
Yeah, it's a brutal day, huh?
You want to say hi to everyone?
Hey guys, happy Friday.
Oh, thank goodness it's Friday. TGIF. Yeah, I didn't like going it alone Wednesday, I'll tell you, Jake. I'm so used to you and Spike. I'm so used to you and Spike. What's that, Jake?
Spike wasn't there on Wednesday?
No, he's on a family vacation.
Okay.
Justin is here from South Florida, and Raouf is here from, he told us, but I don't remember, Toronto, maybe? I think it's Toronto.
Yeah, I think he's in Toronto.
Yeah. So Justin from South Florida and Raouf from Toronto, welcome to our show again. Good to see you guys. And on Wednesday, yeah, I had to go it alone, and I used to go it alone all the time before you and Spike joined me. But I kind of lost my touch for going it alone. I'm used to the interaction, you know. And anyway,
going alone is tough.
Yeah, Raouf says you got it, guys. In other words, together we're better, greater than the sum of the parts, right?
Yeah, that's the point.
That's the point. Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway,
CVM, right?
I struggled through a very mathematical type example of CVM, how it might look in terms of the numbers with respect to primary endpoint 1. I gave a hypothetical example where it came out 175 from the control group that died that died first, along with 123 from the multi-kind group. Now, if that ratio holds, and if you start with an equal number of patients in each arm, then you're going to get a 30% gain in overall survival, because of the difference between 50% and 35% in percentage. Is 30%. In other words, what percentage of 50 is 35? The answer is 30. Right. So that's a very significant gain. It should have come out like that. And I think it has a chance of coming out like that or even greater. The problem is, as I see it, and I didn't want to start by talking about CVM. I wanted to start about talking about Ephesus. But being that I'm on the topic, let's just stay on it for a little while.
Yeah.
The problem is, what if, listen to this, Jake, what if the numbers are 350 in the control group and we have a huge dropout rate, then instead of 350 in the multi-kind group, we only have 250. And the same ratio would give you, let's say, 125 from the multi-kind group. 125 is 50% of 250, plus 175 from the control group. 175 is 50% of 350. So you have no gain in overall survival in that case. So you see where I'm going. If the dropout rate is very significant, brutal dropout rate, that could explain the delay, and two, the bear case. The bear case being big dropout rate may actually be, in fact, not very significant at all. So that's the worry here. Will we get a huge 20% dropout rate in the multi-time dose group? The dosage is 2 weeks long it takes to complete the dosage, right? I believe so. And
Yeah, I
then
think so.
immediately following that is the standard of care, surgery and chemo, surgery, radiation, surgery, and whatever, right? So it's possible that that it could be as high as 20%, in which case that would make me less optimistic than I am now. But all the let's say evidence, whatever evidence there is, points to a more modest dropout rate. At least according to the CEO and the CVM folks, they don't see any reason for that huge dropout rate that I just hypothesized. But the bears seem to find reason for it. The bears seem to think there was a significant dropout rate in phase 2. Now, phase 2 was such a small trial, I don't know what it means. If there was a 20% dropout rate out of 20, that's not statistically significant at all, and doesn't mean much in my mind. So hypothetically, if that's what happened, I'm not sure that that's what happened, but that's what somebody said. What was that after hours on CVM yesterday? Oh, that was another story. The CVM after hours went down because of a warrant situation where some warrants were being called. Now that means
right?
You want to explain what that means? I could, but I'll let you take over.
Yeah, you go ahead, because I think today there was like a retraction on that too.
Okay.
Yeah.
There was a retraction, did you say?
Yeah, I haven't looked into it, but it came out after hour. There was like a request to take back the amendment to the FDA. So it looks like they're just getting their T crossed and their I's dotted.
Well, regardless, I don't pay any attention to warrants being converted to stock, because eventually they're going to be converted anyway. Sooner or later, they're going to be converted. So to me, it's not really a dilution. It's just a bookkeeping entry.
Right.
And people look upon it as a dilution, which it really isn't. And it's a great way to get some cash without going to the cash.
Yeah, it's a nothing burger.
AJB Soccer. I'm going to put AJB Soccer up because, I'm very modest and humble. So I can't say what he said.
Yeah, he's right. We're a good duo.
Yeah, the mighty duo.
Oh, yeah. Hey, look. Justin is in rmti. That's I private messaged you that one, eh?
Oh yeah. Yeah, Dustin, you're in rmti?
I have a huge theory on that one.
So is Jake, and so is Dr. J. Yeah, Dr. J was influenced by my young whippersnapper friend from Medellin, Colombia. I did but I warn you, I did my own due diligence. Must do your own.
Yeah. Well, you knew about it before.
Oh, not Dustin. Yeah. Justin. I'm sorry. Yeah. Any thoughts on agen? We'll get around to that later. But I was just explaining the situation with CVM with respect to the bear case. The main bear case is big dropout rate. And they base it on phase 2. where there was statistically insignificant trial of like 19 people, I think. Something like that. I'm doing everything from memory, so I could be off. And I think there were 4 people that dropped or something like that. So if you lose 4 out of 19, that's a big percentage, 20%, right? I could be all wrong with my numbers. It could be 4 out of 29. I don't remember, but I'm just saying. A big dropout rate would be a reason to pause. But again, I don't think that's the case. We're going to go over athx in terms of the fundamentals. We're going to look at the treasure trial in Japan. We're going to look at the master's trial in US and EU. We're going to look at trauma, which is an interesting trial that's starting up in the US, well funded by the DoD, so it doesn't cost a penny. And we're going to look at possibilities with China and possibilities for partnering up in general. So we're going to look at the bull case, we're going to look at the bear case, and Jake knows all about the bear case because he's, as an options player, you have to know things like when are they going to go to the capital markets.
You have some for the bear case. Actually,
yeah, I mean, one of the big worries is when are they going to raise? And are they going to do something different than raise with Aspire Capital, which is, doesn't hurt too much compared to doing an offering. Aspire Capital is, they can sell at the market, basically. It's like an ATM. All right, anyway, let's, before we do stocks totally, what about the Nevada primaries tomorrow? Do you have any thoughts on that, Jake?
Yeah, Nevada primary. Well, it looks like Bernie's in the lead, which is not, well, it's not that it's not good. I mean, it's expected. He won Nevada the last time too, so.
But didn't he win by? Didn't he win 51-49? It was very close.
Yeah, New Hampshire is really close. Yeah, but it looks like he's polling really well. He's not polling well in terms of chances to win overall presidential election, but he'll probably win Nevada. I don't think it. I think it'll be closer than people expect, which will minimize the impact on the market. But just expect him to win.
Did you hear?
I'm not going to place a bet against Bio just because of that. But yeah, he'll probably win.
Did you hear the latest news that Putin and the Russians are working to support Bernie in social media because that's the one they feel is most easily beatable?
No, I did not.
Yeah. That made the headlines today. Jackie, Dr. J and Jake. Yes, Jackie is one of our regulars, one of our big fans.
Oh, nice.
Jackie, I don't know if you ever said where you're from. We know where most people are from, but I don't know if you filled us in. I can always take a guess. Jackie is from Virginia. How's that? Does that sound like a reasonable guess? You want to guess, Jake? Pick a state. Oh, New York. She told us already. Jackie, why did you tell us? We were guessing. I wanted to see if I would be geographically closer than Jake. New York. What a boring state. All right, Kamal is on with us. Kamal, you happy about Bernie? He's surging. Bernie is surging.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Jackie is a neighbor.
Yeah, she's your neighbor.
She's my neighbor.
Yeah, so is Bloomberg, right? He's
Won't
close to
you,
you.
won't you, won't you, won't you, won't you, won't you be my neighbor? You know who said that, don't you? Mr. Rogers.
So Bernie wins. Are we all going to switch to shorts on bio, or what's the strategy there?
You know something? Everybody talks against bio, but nobody does anything anyway. That's the bottom
Uh,
line.
Sanders might be crazy enough to actually do something. I don't know exactly what the impact would be, but we're tanking, at least for a couple months in the short term if he wins.
Everybody says the prices of bio are out of hand. We're not going to let the drug companies overcharge us, and every other country is cheaper and we're the most expensive and all of that. The problem is, do something about the cost of getting a drug to market and the speed of getting a drug to market, and then the prices will come down. What do you think of that, Bernie? Right?
Yeah, but there's going to be blood on the market, so it might be good to formulate some short strategy if he wins. I don't think he will. But if he does, then it's going to adapt, and there's an opportunity there as well.
Deer Park, Long Island. Yes, right in my backyard, Kamal. All right, let's see here. By the blood, let it happen, says Dustin. Dustin says, let it happen and just bye, 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 bye. But meanwhile, while it's happening, we're going to get hurt.
Well, yeah. If you know you're going to get hurt, might as well just ride it on the way down.
I like Brian's comment. That's cute.
Yeah, we'll need it.
I don't think we should go long on pot stocks. I think we should buy all the pot we can buy.
Yeah, exactly.
Buy the commodity, forget the stock.
Yeah, you're going to need it.
Yes, we're going to need it. All right. Anyway, even if Bernie wins, unless the Senate goes Democratic, he won't be able to get these radical things passed. So I'm not that worried. A president, even though Trump is pushing the envelope, a president is not all powerful like a king or a monarch. There are limitations. And he won't be able to, by executive order, do Medicare for all. It's got to go through the legislature. It won't happen, for example. All right.
Yeah, I mean, the actual fundamental impact would be pretty minimal, but it will take a dump for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when it does, if it does going to happen.
You know what's going on with one of my favorite volatile stocks, mbot. I own mbot, and I'm thrilled that it went to 11. And I actually bought some more today on the spike. Because this thing, when it spikes, it doesn't just stop at 11, it'll spike to 20. It's a very volatile biotech, one that you can make some nice money on when it gets hot. And it gets hot for no apparent reason. Just there's an article today on the medical device makers, and that moved all of the medical device movers. I don't know about AbbVie. Is AbbVie one? Abbott Labs is one. So I don't know. This is certainly one of the smaller ones, but robotics are big, right? Nothing that I know of that caused the move other than it's mbot. It does that kind of thing. Amrn. I expect Amrn to beat, but then again, that's the optimist in me. And even if it doesn't beat, I expect the guidance to be improved. The original guidance, when the label was expanded, was 700 million for 2020. I think they'll beat that 700 million in sales. I think the Vasipa commercial, the new one, is absolutely phenomenal. I think the sales staff is pretty beefed up, and I think they can make a go of it even alone. But I do think they'll be bought out anyway. So either way, whether they go it alone or not, I'm committed to staying with Amrn. I think they understated the potential.
Yeah, I'll chime in there. I mean, I'm sure Amrn is great, but I never touch stocks that go in alone. I mean, the vast majority of the time doesn't pan out well, and when it does pan out, it's like a year and a half down the road.
Well, then you wouldn't have been a long-term holder of Celgene. You wouldn't have been a long-term holder of Genentech, and I can name it, or Amgen, or any of the others. They're
rare,
but they happen.
It happens, right? But this, I like to play the percentage, and the vast majority of the time doesn't pan out well for a while until it repositions itself as a commercial company.
Chris is asking about Clovis Oncology. I own so many biotechs. There's no wonder that I happen to own this one. I do own Clovis, and I don't own a tremendous amount of it, but I own it. And I like its potential for a buyout, Chris, yes. I also like its potential down the road for its drug. I think it's, what is it, a prostate cancer drug? Do you know what it is, Jay?
I haven't done deep research, but I have heard good things about the company, especially in the mid to short term. I think you should be able to see a spike. I haven't dig into the actual science behind it, but I've heard some people like it.
Yeah, I think it's a nice play for buyout, for swing trades. It seems to go up and down between 8 and 12, that kind of range, 9 and 12, something like that. So it's a nice little swing trade, if nothing else. Oh, MTNB, it's Amrn 2.0. AJB Soccer, don't be mad at me. But today I wanted to buy something else, and I sold all my MTNB.
Oh, that's crazy. I sold 20% today, too.
Wow.
MTNB. Yeah, we both did the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, the catalyst is just way too far out for me. I've heard good things about the science behind it. The CEO looks solid. Management team looks pretty good, but the next catalyst is too far out. People are just gonna get the ADHD and move on to something else. I mean, I'm sure you can stay in, and I don't know when the next one is. Right, in a year and a half, when they have readouts, you can probably make money off of it. But there's probably better investment in the short to near term.
Yeah, I'm also afraid of a near-term collapse. So it didn't pay for me to stay in. Similar reasoning to you.
Yeah.
Jackie wants to know my buyout target. Yes, 35 is my buyout target on Amrn. That doesn't change because they can't get much more than that. Because let's say the 700 million could be improved to 2 billion by Pfizer, let's say. It's still not worth much more than $35 a share. If they can get revenues of 2 billion a year, then it's a fair price, or maybe a little higher. Biopath. Well, I have a soft spot in my heart for Biopath because I happen to hit it just right. But I mean, do I expect a repeat of that run from 4 to 73? No. It's been sitting in the 6s. I'm not sure about the fundamentals anymore. They have beautiful platform that they hope will be used in the final solution for cancer. But the final solution is down the road. And I think this one is looking down the road a bit. So just like Jake, I don't like these very long-term plays, and I think that's what Biotech really is.
They do have a lot of cash on hand though, so it's somewhat the risk from a dilution. But I don't know, the cow is way too far out once again.
They probably did a capital raise when they had that huge run, so they took advantage of it. I'm sure they did. Probably did a capital raise in the 20s or something.
Yeah. People keep mentioning rmti, right? Like, I really love that one. I mean, that's probably the one I'm thinking about every day right now. It's a beautiful setup for a couple of reasons. Well, number one, I think the science is good, right? But any PDUFA play, when the science is really good, you go in for sure. I mean, PDUFA for me is probably the most exciting play in bio. Right?
Now, PDUFA stands for those who don't know, it's a fee that technically it's a fee that's charged for the NDA when the company files the NDA.
Yeah,
that's technically what it is. You want to explain what the calendar date for PDUFA vote means? The implication?
To break it down, basically, when you file, the FDA might give you a PDUFA date, and what happens is that they compile independent experts and consultants, and they create a panel, right, of people. And on that date, everyone gets together and they present their essentially bull case and the bear case as to why the drug should get approved or why it shouldn't get approved, right? So most of the time you can actually watch it or listen to it live. So for me, it's like it's probably better than watching a sport game or something like that, right? I mean, you're invested in the stock, you're watching everyone make their case, and then in the end, they'll vote whether or not they think the drug should be approved or not. Now, here's something people don't know is that 80% of the time, historically, the FDA will take the advice from the PDUFA committee. So what happens, right? So when a drug gets announced approval without PDUFA, it's most of the time already priced in. So if you look at Agile Therapeutics, right? It came out last week, drug got approved, the price went down. It's already priced in. Now, when PDUFA positive vote, especially the market size for the drug is sizable, you're gonna see either a huge spike or a really large decrease. So it's exciting. Now, the reason why it keeps the gains after a PDUFA vote is because people still stay in anticipation of the official FDA approval announcement, right? But once again, 80% of the time, it's already priced in. So PDUFA, if you believe in the science, if you think it's gonna pass, if you look at phase 2 to phase 3 and you believe in the result, it's a pretty good bet. So in rmti, most likely it's gonna keep running up until the PDUFA date. So I won't tell you how to play it, but theoretically you can make a living just on the run up to PDUFA. You probably sell half and then wait for the actual, vote, and then.
So you're saying the PDUFA vote is similar to an AdCom, an advisory committee?
Right. Yeah, it's the AdCom, correct? Yeah.
So are you saying they're one and the same, or
They're the same? Yeah, the advisory committee. Right.
Okay. On the date of the is 3/28/20. Is that what the date is?
Yeah, I
Preston
believe
says
so. Yeah,
March
it's
28th.
28, 29. But
Now the thing is, the market. What I don't like about it, and I expressed this to you earlier, Jake, is I don't see the market as being that great for an anemia drug that's primarily given to dialysis patients that are in end-stage renal failure. Uh, Usually, they're owned by big chains, and these big chains have ways of coping with the anemia problem already. So I don't know how easy it will be to actually sell this drug. I know you told me they have partners in around the world. Maybe, but to me that's a question mark. Will it actually be a big seller or not? How much will they actually make, even if approved? Which I expect it will be. Does that sound
yeah,
like a viable concern?
it's a viable concern. Once again, you're probably not going to stay in until commercialization. The projected market cap of the company for this particular drug or indication, if it gets approval, a couple of things will happen, right? One, market cap will increase. I mean, it's supposed to be a game changer for the company. But two, the partners come with milestone payment. Um, if and when the drug is approved. And this is new, right? They just got, I think, 2 or 3 new partners. One of them is Sun in China. Um, so I'm not here bullish on the commercialization of the drug, but I do think that with an approved drug in its belt, the market cap will still increase. Whether or not it will sell or how large, you know, how they can
So
penetrate the
basically, let me summarize it. Basically, your idea is you could run it up prior to PDUFA and sell, or wait for PDUFA vote and then sell, or wait a little bit longer for approval and then sell, or sell it,
Um,
or break it up, stagger it.
yeah, yeah. So, and this is like not something that I mean, I probably should be saying, but full transparency, right? I mean, a smart way to do it, you get an inside scoop, would be probably sell half before the PDUFA date. Keep some just to see it through to the positive vote. I think it will be positive. The price should maintain from positive vote until approval. Is you're gonna see maximum 20% increase, maybe a little bit more, right? Um, but that's basically it. I wouldn't hold it all the way into FDA approval.
Okay.
Typically, when a company has an AdCom, is priced in for the most part. You're gonna see a little bit of an increase, a little bit of a run up, but most of the time when they announce approval, everyone gets out because there's no more catalyst on horizon, at least
Right.
on the short term. So that's what I would do. You do what's good for you.
Right. By the way, our disclosure is that all of what we say is just opinion and not investment advice. So I want to just tell everybody, remind everybody of that this show has, number one, entertainment value, number two, some really good ideas, but strictly our own opinion, and one should do their own due diligence on every investment advice on every investment that they make. Consult whether they consult with an investment advisor or consult with their wife, or as I kidded around last week about with their dog. Remember the dog algorithm?
Yeah, consult with your wife and
No, the
husband.
dog algorithm, the dog one. Remember
Yeah,
my dog algorithm? One
yeah,
dog, one off means yes. Two woof woof means no. So that's the way I would play it.
yeah. And by the way, RMTI just did a raise, so they're good for cash until next year.
Yeah,
So you're de-risked for the most part until after the DUFA. Well,
yeah. What do you throw? This guy, I think, is somebody who has poor taste in what he has to say. And Dustin said he's been blocked, and Justin says he's been blocked, and Brian says he's been blocked and reported. I don't even know how to block somebody, but if I could figure it out, I'll do it. And Jackie says he's been blocked. And Dustin said, don't give him the spotlight. I won't. And okay, so there are some people that come on into our chat who aren't very nice. So
Yeah, it's normal.
We can't control that, right, Jacob? But maybe
Yeah,
you can.
it's a good sign. I mean, as you get more viewers, it's bound to happen.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, David said this is a really good question. Like, do you think it's too late to get into CVM? And the answer, it's still no. Obviously, actually, I just got my girlfriend to get into CVM as well today. She's looking for.
Well, let me ask you this: will there be repercussions if the data is not too good?
If the data is not good?
Yeah, will there be repercussions from your girlfriend now?
That's a good question. I keep telling her, look, don't listen to me, do your thing, and if you do, don't complain if you lose all your money, because it could happen. Yeah. And the issue with recommending stuff to your family is that, you want the agility to go in and out whenever you please, and you don't want to have to, every time you exit the stock, you pick up the phone and call everyone you recommend it to, right? It's a pain in the butt, but she's not too late to get into CVM. Absolutely not. And that one is either you make, 10x your money or you lose all your money. I mean, that's still the situation that we have right now.
Well, that's not quite true. I think there's a middle ground. I think if the results exactly meet 10%, you're not going to get 10 times your money, but you're not going to lose any money. So I think maybe you'll make a small gain. I don't think it'll go crazy if it just barely meets on 10%. What do you think?
Yeah, maybe. I think if it barely meets 10%, I think it's gonna crash.
You think it'll go down?
Yeah, I think it's underwhelming data. It's gonna go down because people's been waiting way too long for. I mean, it's just 22 years, even longer. So
10% is still not bad for a cancer patient. Look, they're told that your odds, if you don't do the pre-treatment with multi-kind, your odds of survival is going to be 50%. But if you do it, your odds of survival will be 55%. I think it's probably still worth doing it, even 10%.
Yeah. I think it's worth buying options in CVM. Leaps, well, once again, I mean, I can't tell you exactly what to do, but that's one way to at least, lower your risk, right? But I don't know, like you talked to the director of operation, he's the giddy guy. Gert looks trustworthy.
Gavin, you mean Gavin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you said Gert was willing to come on the show, right?
Yeah, Gert would be willing to come on, but the thing is, he's told this story so many times. He comes on here, and we got all these annoying people going to ask him a lot of annoying questions. Maybe it's not the right venue for him.
I don't know. I say we'll bring him on. Like, he's got to prepare for a
Bring
little
him on,
bit.
and his option, not allow chat, right?
The what?
At his option, we would not allow chat.
Yeah, that's a good question. So, I mean, you can actually have chat, but only we can see it, and we curate the question to Gert.
Okay.
I will personally fly over to wherever he is and sit down and stream it from there with you. If you can get Gert to come on the show.
Okay. Well, yeah, Gavin indicated that he thought Gert would be interested, but he can't speak for Gert.
Right.
I did not speak with Gert. I spoke with Gert. I think he pronounces it Gert.
Get.
Gert Kirsten, right? Kirsten. No, I did not talk to him, so he might have a different perspective than Gavin. Dustin says, bring him on. Look, Dustin, if he wants to come on, I'm not going to say no, but I'm going to let him dictate the terms of how he wants to do it. Does he want to do it on tape? Does he want to do it live? I'll leave that up to him.
Where's he at right now?
They're in Virginia.
Get is he in Virginia?
Well, I think he's in New York right now. But his headquarters, their headquarters are Virginia, isn't it?
Yeah, Vienna, Virginia. Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. I will personally fly over to Vienna, Virginia. You can get Gert to agree to go on the show.
Well, it's not a question of can we get him. Is it appropriate? Is it an appropriate venue? I don't want to put him.
That's totally appropriate.
I don't want to make him feel uncomfortable. I only would do it if he felt comfortable. If it's right for him. If it's right for him, it's right for us. Put it that way.
Yeah, it's worth a shot.
I'm not twisting anybody's arm to come onto the show, but it certainly would accommodate Mr. Kirsten. Yeah, I mean, don't expect him to tell us anything we don't already know.
Well, it's good to read a guy expression, see how he answers question, let the audience sniff him out, you can get so much data point just by seeing micro expression and the emotion.
You want him on. It looks like our followers want him on. I'll call again. I'll ask him if he wants to come on.
All right.
I left it very, very, very loose. I left it, up to you guys, basically, is how I left it. So if they want to come on, they'll come on.
All right. Let's do it.
Yeah, in terms of would it be a good show, I think there's enough interest, enough followers that we have from CVM that it would be a very well-viewed show, probably get several thousand views, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000. We've been getting over 1,200 just chatting like the way we do chat. So we would get at least double that if Kat came on with us. It would be probably very good publicity for CVM.
Yeah. I think it will be, like the CEO coming on to, like a smaller YouTube show. It just shows how human he is if he actually agreed to come on and how scrappy he is, And I think it's good publicity.
I admire him a lot because he's been the veteran CEO, 25 years, the founder of CVM, and has gone through a lot of different changes, leaps technology to multi-kind. And early on, it was very difficult. This was basically a penny stock that kept diluting and reverse splitting and diluting and reverse splitting. He managed this company as good as anyone could possibly do, manage a company. He's done an unbelievable job at the helm. And basically, Gavin and him have been really leading the company through investor conferences and investor relations to the science. For a man without a PhD and without an MD, you wouldn't know it when he talks. So he knows his stuff all around. Jackie. Okay, Jackie's in favor. Well, obviously, I think
Jackie wants Dirk on the show. You got to get him on the show.
That's true. That's true. If Jackie wants him, I got to get him on. And AJB is not sure who Gert is. I think he's pulling our leg, right? Just in case, he's the CEO of CVM. Okay. Also, the CEO of Ephesus might be willing to come on in another show. That's Gil Van Brecklin. And I spoke to Karen over at CVM, and she seemed to think that he might be interested. And he's another enthusiastic CEO that deserves a lot of credit for steering his way through all the headwinds that you have to overcome as a little biotech. Done a masterful job with Ephesus. Did you want to talk about Ephesus now?
Yeah, I actually looked into it because you mentioned we're going to be covering it. For me, I'm going to be out on it. I think you know more about me, but my main reason is the cash on hand is not where I want to be right now. So I think they're going to dilute. The next catalyst is not, I think it's like next year, right? I mean, it's not.
No, this year, later this year, the end of the year.
Yeah, it's just way too far out for me, and the cash situation is really bad. So I wouldn't be able to recommend it, with a good conscience right now, because I it's going to dilute in the next couple of months or so. If not,
but you know that they have essentially an ATM in the form of their now I forget the name of their. I just mentioned it. They have
Aspire Capital.
What's it called again? Aspire, yeah.
Yeah.
Aspire Capital, where they can raise at any time up to I think up to 100 million or something. I don't know what their credit line is. So they sell them shares at a slight discount, and they raise money as needed. They don't have to go to the capital markets to dilute, and they can take just what they need. They don't have to go beyond just what they need. So they could dilute to the minimum until they get either, well, what are the possible catalysts? I think their partner is one that you didn't consider. They could have a partner.
The partner thing is interesting, but it's just so hard to know when that's going to happen.
Yes, but I think we can assume that, I hate to call him Gil because he's Dr. Van Brecklin. Let's be more formal. He's a geneticist. He's, I think he's Stanford fellow. He's a brilliant fellow, Dr. Van Brecklin, Gil Van Brecklin. Everyone calls him Gil, so I guess I will. The CEO of Ephesus. He is definitely looking for partners. They're both on the master's trial in the U.S., and in particular for the European Union, and also in China. I mean, the deal for a partnership with Helios to expand that to China fell through. But I think he's interested in partnering with somebody in China so that they can do the continuation of more stroke trials there and odds trials there. Also, I think, you know, you can easily make a case for using Multistem, their product, for the coronavirus, because they're doing trials in ARDS, acute respiratory distress syndrome, and that's basically a bad side effect of a pneumonia, where you get tremendous inflammation, and the patient winds up on respirators half the time. It's really a terrible disease.
Yeah.
And coronavirus has a similar, result. So if it works for odds, it'll work for coronavirus when it results in pneumonia. I think that's what kills a lot of people with the coronavirus. So it makes sense to pursue that. Whether or not Gil is pursuing that or not, I don't know, obviously. But if I were the CEO and there's a big outbreak of coronavirus in China, I would be in China talking to what's his name, XI. I'd say, Mr. Chi, I have a solution that might help save lives. I can't say his name.
Right.
XI. Do you know how to pronounce it?
The president or did
The president is XI. I don't know how to say it.
I think she?
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Come on, put it
right. He's Trump's good buddy.
Yeah.
Sort of. All right. I don't know what Nighttime Guru keeps talking about, but I'm not paying attention.
Yeah. Yeah, that one is. It's. By the way, Kevin Tane on the show would be insane. I don't think he'll come on, but I'm dying to.
You want Dr. J? You want Dr. J to get Kevin Tang on the show?
Oh my god! If you can get Kevin Tane on the show, I don't know what I would do. Like, what do you? That would be amazing. I'm dying to talk to this guy.
I mean, it's not like getting hey, it's not like getting Bill Gates on the show.
Right.
All we got to do is ask, and the worst he'll say is yes or no.
Yeah, let's just ask. Yes, this is a good
point. Always ask.
It's a good point. Like he hasn't done any interviews whatsoever, right?
To be honest, I like our show the way it is. So if one of these guys want to come on, fine, they're welcome. We can slot in a guest anytime. But I'm very happy with our show, the format that we have right now.
Yeah.
With or without CEOs, with or without guests, with or without Kevin Tang.
Well, we'll get Gert on the show. I mean, it seems like his buddy, his director of operations, said he would come on. Tane would be really hard. Just private equity guys, just they tend to.
Look, I'll call up and I'll tell Kevin that Jake is a friend of mine. That ought to do it.
Yeah. Wow. That guy is definitely up to something right now, like for sure, right? I mean, the guy owns more than 40% of the company. So I'm dying to know what he's up to. Like LJPC in the short term, really good or really bad.
One of my best friends was Dr. Tang, TENG. So that's close enough. I'll do well with Kevin Tang. Give me his number. I'll call him tomorrow. You think he'll pick up on a Saturday?
I mean, you probably shoot someone from Tang Capital Management an email.
All right, I'll call him up. I thought all I had to do was tell him I know you and he'll come on. That's not the case? I can't name drop? Can I use your name?
You use my name because yeah, because I'm also Asian. He's Asian. You know, totally just coming on the show. You know,
Yeah,
we're like family.
yeah. Oh, look at what Jackie said. My goodness, never say never. Dr. J can do any. That's a vote of confidence. If I ever saw one, that's a vote of confidence. I can do anything that I put my mind to. It's just a question of putting your mind to it. I'm convinced anybody can accomplish what they want to do. If you want it bad enough and you work hard enough at it, it'll come. Right, Jay?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have to chart this, don't we? Where is that agen request? I lost it. Agen. Let's go to the charts because we're running out of time. It's 7:32 already. I just want to chart agen, at least that for. Is it Justin? Justin, I think, wants agen. I don't care if we chart anything else, but agen. He's asked me 5 times to chart agen. So let's do it, okay? Can't say no. I wanted to chart a few more stocks, but we've spoken about enough, I think, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if we chart them or just talk about them. On agen at all. Justin could fill us in a little bit. Justin, if you're listening, want to fill us in a little bit on the technicals? I mean, we have the best view out. Everyone, Clarence to Lynn to Jackie to Dustin to Justin to Chris to Greg to we have the best. So Dr. J and Jake and Spike, appreciate all of you. And if I can't get around to request, I apologize. Tonight we've been particularly bad about I wanted to chart tcon because I want to play it myself for a swing trade. Somebody asked you, I think it was, I don't remember, if you know of anything about, do you know anything about tcon?
Yeah, I'm in on tcon.
Oh, you are? Well, maybe we can talk a little bit about that after we take a quick look at this chart. Do you know anything about agen?
About who?
Agen.
No.
Neither do I. But today it was down with the market. The whole market was yucky. Oh, it has four red candles in a row. Don't like that. It was overbought and now is almost underbought. It went from overbought to almost underbought in a matter of 4 or 5 days. So I imagine it was overbought on the 19th of February, and it's approaching oversold territory as it finds the 200 for support. Well, it held, the 200 held back here on 2.6, and it looks like it held today, at least for today. So if you like the technicals on this one, now looks like about as good a time as any to give it a shot, give it a go, would be my suggestion. Is the chart compelling enough for Dr. J to buy it? without knowing anything about the fundamentals? Probably not. But if you like the fundamentals here, it looks like this is a good time to try it. It's sitting at the 200. The 200 is shown it was support once. Maybe it'll be support again. It's nearing oversold territory. I don't know what caused this tremendous decline. I don't like big red candles of this nature after a long run up. So that's disturbing. But again, if you have faith in this company and you want to add to your position or want to start a position, now looks like the time. What do you think, Jake?
Wouldn't be able to say. I don't know anything about the company. I gotta look into the fundamentals.
All right. Jake is not going to offer up an opinion on this. My opinion would be what I told you. You would should I chart or call it a night? What do you think?
I think it was a good 1 hour. It's a good discussion. I think next week is gonna be a lot better. You just gotta think about what the coronavirus deal is going, but I think it's gonna.
I might say that I loaded up on APT and LAKE and CODX. I'm losing on CODX. I'm making on the other.
Yeah.
Just for insurance, just an insurance policy. All right, take it easy, says AJB. We are going to take it easy, and we're going to wish you all a good week. I'll be back on Wednesday with Spike. Spike will be back from vacation, hopefully well rested. And I hope you enjoyed our discussion on Ephesus, on CVM, on rmti. We had really good discussions on these three stocks. Remember about Amazon, it's always time to buy Amazon. And when in doubt, buy Amazon. And the Dow is offering up opportunities to add to your diamond collection. So this is Dr. Say, and I'll say goodnight for Dr. J and Jake from Long Island and Medellin, Colombia. Good night, everybody. Sayonara, au revoir, arrivederci, shalom.
Ciao.
And hasta mañana, hasta la próxima semana. That makes sense? Hasta la próxima semana.
You know what? Sure.
It sounds good, right?
Yeah, it sounds good. It really does.
Night all.